Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tone Out podcast. I'm your host James Ennard, joined by my good friend Timmy Lang.
Hey everyone.
Roman is on the deck, say hi Ron.
Hi Ron.
And this week we have a talker lady, Niamh Dorgan. How are you, Niamh?
Good.
Thanks for coming over on the podcast. I know a little bit about you. For the people that don't know you, do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, so I am Niamh. I'm 23 and I am from Toker.
It was actually Timmy's wife that said, you should get Niamh Dorgan on the podcast. And I was like, who's Niamh Dorgan?
I was so surprised when you texted me. I was like,
yeah.
No, I can't text back. Actually, I can. And then it was when Robbie done it, then that's what made me, all right, maybe I can do it as well. Like if
Robbie
can,
Dineen.
Yeah.
Robbie Dineen, we had on the podcast, is an in-law.
Yeah, so
Niamh's.
he's going out with my cousin Gillian. So when I seen Robbie do it, then I was like, actually, maybe I have a story to tell as well. So that's kind of what made me actually do it.
And like Robbie, you have a parent that has died
Yeah,
as well?
so it's kind of similar in a way. So I just kind of thought, well, he had a big impact on people when he done it. Like even all my family were kind of like, whoa, like that was amazing. So then I thought, like, why not me do it and share it with my followers and stuff.
Exactly.
I think it would be beneficial to a lot of people out there. Like.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about your family growing up when you were a child?
Yeah, so there's 5 of us, and then my mum and my dad. And when I was 11, so it was 2009, my mum died suddenly. She had a heart attack in her sleep. So I was actually on holidays at the time. I was over in Lanzarote with my best friend Rachel. And
What age were you?
I was just 11. Yeah, 11 going on 12,
What
I
age
think.
was your mum?
44 when she died.
Fuck.
So I think I was just on holidays, and it was the day before I think we were coming back, and Rachel actually had known, and her dad, but sure obviously they couldn't say anything to me, so we were over there and they were coming back the next day, and I can remember my dad said he wasn't meant to collect me or something like that, and he collected me from the airport, and then he was with my auntie, and then I came back and everyone was kind of standing in the kitchen. I was saying there's something wrong here, like I knew kind of straight away. And he just kind of said then that my mum was sick, and I was just kind of like, where is she, like? And I thought they were just going to say she's in the hospital or something, but then he just told me that she died, like, so I was shook. I didn't know what to say, I didn't know what to do. It obviously took me a long time to kind of come to terms with it. I was so young. I just kind of didn't really think into it too much, like. And then it was coming up to my communion, so kind of having everyone then their friends with their mums and dads, it kind of started hitting me then really, like.
What about like how did it affect you in terms of your school, like did it?
I suppose in terms of school growing up, I was always kind of looking at everyone else being like they're so lucky, and I think especially for a young girl not having a mum is like, who do you go to, like, do you know, that kind of way.
Have you sisters?
Yeah, well I have an older sister, Kerry, so there's only 3 years between us. But I mean, she had to grow up very quickly then for me as well, like, so it was obviously hard on her too, kind of trying to be a mum for me, like, and I suppose, but like, kind of didn't want to go to her with everything either, you know, you kind of get embarrassed about things. But I suppose not having a mum then to kind of go to about things like that, and we all know dads can be fucking tough work. They're like a rock.
That's right, Tim.
So I suppose I can't go up to my dad and say this fella's after breaking my heart, like, so.
When I think of my own sisters, like they have some connection with my mum, you know.
Yeah.
Milestones like have the first baby, buying your home, you know, this first
there's
day, going through like the puberty, like
exactly,
the
period and everything, like there's no one to kind of, I can't even remember, did I even go to my sister about it, but I was like, oh wow, what do I do here? Now to be fair, I was very, very lucky that my mum has sisters, and one of them, Valerie, would be my second mum, like.
Hi Valerie, fair play.
So she'd be delighted now. But she stepped in as a mum as well straight away, so I am really lucky in terms of the people that I have had around me growing up, but I suppose it still doesn't replace a mother, like, so it has been tough in kind of ways like that. But
did it ever affect you in terms of, like, did you ever get depressed about it through your teenage years, and did it ever get you down so bad where it got tough?
I think I was kind of trying to deny it affected me for years. I didn't talk to anyone about it. I never kind of opened up about how I felt about it, and I think that's another thing. If I had a mum and it was somebody else that I lost, I probably would have spoke to her about it, but I suppose not being able to go to anyone, kind of going through school then, I just felt like it was all on top of me without like telling anyone. I was always kind of angry, and I was just getting depressed, and I was very, like, when it came to relationships, I used to try and push everyone away, but it was all a part of, like, I didn't want to lose anyone. So by pushing people away, I wasn't going to lose anyone. And I suppose it actually affected me up to kind of now with relationships. It's only the last couple of months that I'm like coming to terms with I can't keep pushing people away, and obviously the fear of loss is a big thing that I had to deal with.
I know.
Yeah, it sounds very similar to my own kind of situation as well, growing up, you know, trying to keep people away because that way you won't be hurt.
Like,
you know,
so I think I done that up until now, really. In the last couple of months is where I kind of worked on myself the most, but that's what I kind of do, just kind of push people away, and it's always just a fear of losing people, and especially in relationships I kind of depend on people a lot. Well, I don't now. The last couple of months now I've been very independent, but before that I constantly depend on people to do everything with me, and always wanted loads of friends, and then I realised I always wanted so many people that none of them really were a real friend, or the relationships weren't what I actually wanted them to be. It was just kind of in my head of having people around me. And then when I learned to be comfortable by myself, I feel like a new person, like the last couple of weeks.
And when you get to that place, that's when the real people walk into your life then.
I'd say I could count on one hand my real friends now. Well, my family are my best friends, but I could count on one hand my real friends now. Like, I've cut a lot of people out of my life, and it's the best thing that I ever done.
I've noticed when I stopped using alcohol and drugs and jumped out of that life of crime and stuff, I started really meeting people that wanted to know me for who I was. You know, they didn't want nothing for me, but I was saying, what's his agenda here?
What's he looking for?
What do they want? You know, and I keep him at bay. But after a while, I started to really see that these people just liked me for who I was, and they wanted to be my friend.
And you just wouldn't be used to it from what you've been through. You wouldn't be used to people actually genuinely wanting to be there for you, or wanting to know you for you. Like, that's what I found when I went away. The amount of friends that I made that I would call my best friends now, rather than the friends who I thought were my best friends. So I definitely learned that time is nothing when it comes to friendships and stuff. I've had friendships for years and years, and I've cut a lot of them recently, like, and I don't regret any of it, and it was just the best decision I ever made. Like,
I've often said it to my daughter and the small fella about friends, you know, how they can get hurt very easily if they break away from certain groups of friends, but when you're growing up like that, you move into different circles as well, don't you?
Definitely.
Like in sport, in maybe, like, she's quiet, she likes to read, but then she would have had friends before, and they kind of grow with each other, you know.
Like, you change completely. Like, I don't even drink anymore. Well, saying that now, I drank once a couple of weeks ago in the last 12 weeks, but it was kind of the night out I had for my birthday, and I just said I can't do this anymore. Just a million different people, all you do is talk about other people, and I just didn't want to do it. I was constantly judging people, and I was saying I'm nobody to judge anyone, like, and I stood back, and I just felt like the people that I was surrounding myself with was constantly talking about other people, and there was constant drama. And now that I've cut a lot of people out of my life, like, I've had absolutely zero drama. I have friends from all over Ireland, and friends in Bali, and they're the people that I talk to, and I spend my time with my family and a couple of friends. Like, and
even the people I surround myself with, which for the most part is the two boys here, my wife, some of my family members, and a few close friends that I grew up with that are in recovery. But I don't. The dogs. But
sometimes the dogs are
better than
anybody.
Best friend, Jesus.
Yeah, the dogs. Zeus be listening now, he'd be howling. But I have no tolerance for negative people.
No.
Or if people drain my energy or try to bring it down, get rid of them. Do you know what I mean? It's different now. Like, if that's the place, if they're your friends and they're in a bad place, we'll help them and support them through. But if they're
there's so much help you can do, though. As well.
Exactly. But I wanted to ask you about your mum.
Yeah.
Have you got memories of your mum?
I do. I've loads of memories of her.
What's she like?
She's the best person in the world. She's very funny and outgoing, like, what a woman. But in the end, she did have a drinking problem, so I won't go into too much because I don't really want to remember her as that person that she was in the end. But I mean, at the end of the day, it is an illness, like addiction. And it's probably another reason why I don't drink that much either. I kind of can see what it can do to people very, very quickly, and I just think it's something that I never want to have a problem with. And I'm lucky to be able to look at it like that, because I know some people lose parents, or they go, like, when they're grieving, they go to drinking, they go to drugs, whereas I go away from them things now. Like when I had my first ever heartbreak with a boy, I turned to drink all the time, and that's when I realised, like, you never get better if you're going to keep feeling numb, like.
Yeah, and it's all about feeling, really.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, we use alcohol to numb out the heartache.
Yeah, and constantly do it, and every week, and then you never, once you stop, then you actually have to feel everything that you've been trying to hide, like.
Yeah. Had you a good bond with your mum?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, she was, no matter what she was drinking, she'd always have a dinner on the table. She'd always, her kids were first. And that was never not a thing, like.
Do you know, when you have a strong bond with your parent like that, and then all of a sudden they're gone over your life, like, that's a traumatic event. Do you know, when you start drinking in your teens, then did the drinking become a problem for you?
Yeah, I was drinking every weekend. I was drinking from the age of 12, I'd say. I can remember it was my confirmation party, and my dad was throwing a big party inside. I can't remember what it was. And I was saying, God, get me out of here, I just want to go drinking with my friends. And then from there on, I remember I was in the catwalk when I was 14, got caught in there, and I was like, what am I doing? But up until the age of 18, I was drinking every weekend, like. All my friends are always older than me as well, and obviously all my brothers and my sister was older than me, so I was kind of looking at them and drinking, trying to enjoy myself with them. But then I realised that nothing was ever going to get better if I kept.
I think you grew up quickly when your mother died.
Yeah.
You kind of lost that childhood innocence.
Yeah, I definitely did. And I suppose that's a big thing as well. When you kind of lose it, you nearly want to go back sometimes.
I know. Because childhood is so short. I'm thinking, if your daughter was 14, imagine her in the catwalk, like, you couldn't, to me.
No, I couldn't really, but I'm a firm believer as well that whatever adversity we do get in our lives, it pushes us into wanting to be a better person. It pushes us into awakening, if that's the right word. Like, you're 23.
I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't do what I done.
No, and we were speaking beforehand, and you were telling me you were reading The Power Now, and you're meditating. Yeah. Like, I don't know many 23-year-olds like doing that, and the reason you're doing these things at the moment is because you don't want to feel the way you did anymore. Yeah,
exactly. You know? I want to help myself every day rather than feel sorry for myself, like nothing's ever going to change. And to be fair, like, everyone that's in my life right now is similar to me. So, like, all my friends now do read and meditate, and that's the circle I've built. Like, whereas my old friends, and nothing against them,
just where they're at.
I've no hate for any of them, like, I really don't. And I'd say even if they do listen to this now, they're going to say, who is she, like?
Well, hi to them.
But
and I hope they're all keeping well.
I do. I wish them all well, and I hope they are well. But it just came to a stage where I wasn't fitting in with them people anymore. And, like, the people now, like, I remember being in Bali one day, and Sinead, I mentioned Sinead Hegarty to you a while ago, and Sinead texted me one morning being like, do you want to read and meditate before we go to the gym? And, like, I text back being like, I've never gotten a message like this. Like, this is so much more than, do you want to go and get a McDonald's, or do you want to come out for a fag? Like, and I think from then I just realised, like, I needed to change my group of friends and who I surround myself with.
And that's a very normal part of growing up and maturing.
A normal part of recovery.
It is,
And I don't mean recovery from alcohol or drugs. I mean recovery as a human being, like, and getting to know yourself and waking up and dealing with trauma, the grief of you know.
I thought I'd never get over what I went through. Like, still to this day, it's only the last couple of weeks where I'm sitting down and saying I'm actually so fucking proud of myself for coming this far. Like, there's not a lot of 23-year-olds out there that can do it. Like, so. And
there's plenty, like, there's people that I had in my life at 22 that I didn't have in my life at 25, and the people that had in my life at 25 that I didn't have. As we mature and we get older and we get new commitments and jobs and podcasts, and you lose friends and you gain friends. It's all part and parcel. It's nothing against anybody. It's just how it works out. People get jobs and kids, and it's just the way it is. It's not like I've nothing against you. It's just we're on different wavelengths.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Like, I don't have hate for anyone in my life right now, and I think that's why I'm at so much peace, because even if we ended badly as a friendship, I look back now and I wish you nothing but the best. And I hope you're happy the way you are, but it just wasn't for me. And I knew I wasn't going to get to where I wanted to be in that circle of friends. So,
did you ever do any bereavement counselling when you were younger?
I tried it through the years, but I mean, every time I went to the doctor, I was nearly asking to put me on antidepressants because I wanted to ease it out. There was a few times I went on them, and then I'd stop on myself, and then I'd go back on them, and it just, like, I don't like telling people not to go that way about it, but there is definitely more than going to get a pill and helping yourself. There's so much more to it that you need to do yourself before you go down that route. Now, it does work for some people that some people do need them. Like, my brother has bipolar, and he wouldn't be able to go without his medication. So, I mean, some people do need them, but I definitely think when I got a therapist last year, it was the best thing I ever done.
So do you find the talking therapies help you?
Yeah, definitely. When you find the right one, definitely. Now, it is hard to find the right one because I didn't find it for years until I met Gabrielle last year. And I still talk to her, and we do Zooms. She's from Belfast, so we do Zooms, and now we have a retreat next week, so it's definitely the best thing I've ever done.
Brilliant. What the treatment does for you, like counsellors and psychotherapists and stuff, what they do is they teach you about life. They teach you why we feel the way we feel, and they bring you back into maybe a trauma. Yeah,
which can be
that's
hard.
Trapped, where there's a trapped energy related to trauma. Yeah. You know, it might be from an experience that you suffered as a young child, or in our cases, something that we may have done in addiction. You know, and we're shameful of it, and we're guilty, and our fear. You know, and it's just about talking about them and releasing that energy, the trapped energy that's within. And,
they can really get in.
Every time you talk about it, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter.
It does, definitely. There's no judgment there as well. I think that's the main thing. No matter what you're going through, they'll never make you feel like it's not the worst thing ever. Because I suppose as each individual, like, my worst might not be your worst. And that's why I never compare whatever I went through to anyone else's, because everyone's worst is their own worst.
Exactly. There's a quote from a Bob Marley song: "Every man thinks his burden is the heaviest." So we could experience the same thing, and one might drive on, and the other one might be flattened by it. But it's how you feel is personal, and it's subjective.
Is personal,
Or the other one, where if you went into a room full of people and you all threw your problems up on the table, whose problems would you take? You take your own back.
Exactly,
because you've learned to deal with them, and to get through a day with them.
Exactly,
So what did you do when you finished school?
What did I do?
Did you go working or college? Or?
I went to college and I done a security course.
That's an interesting course for a young girl.
I always wanted to be a guard. I can remember growing up, my brothers always said, no one would ask questions like you do, like. Everything I questioned, absolutely everything, they got away with nothing with me. But so that kind of was in my head from when I was younger. I always wanted to be a guard. I always wanted that kind of power and control, like. But I went and done security then, and remember I got an interview for the guards, and I said, "No, this is not what I want to do at all."
Oh, really?
Get me out of here.
And would you not consider going back?
No.
Not for you?
No, not at all.
And did you work in security afterwards, or was it just for the guards?
I just done it as a course because I thought I was going to go to the guards, and I thought it would be something good to have. But then when I stopped the course, I said, "No, this is not what I want to do at all."
You were travelling recently?
Yeah, so I went to Dubai in February, and then I went to Bali in January, February, March.
What was better?
Oh, Bali for sure.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about Bali?
Yeah, it's the best place I've ever been. I suppose compared to Dubai, there's a big difference. Dubai is very fake. Like, everything is fake about it. The buildings you look at and you're like, Jesus, it's fake. Can't even find real grass. The beaches don't even feel real. So it's very, like, I suppose it's a glam life that...
Like an Instagram country.
Yeah, which isn't me. As much as people probably think it is by looking at my Instagram. I think people can look at me as if I'm somebody else, but I'm not, like, just all this glam life and stuff like that. It's actually not me at all. I'm probably the furthest thing from it. I'm more tracksuits and... just natural life. But I suppose when I got to Bali, then it was complete different. Like, in Dubai I was living basically a rich life, and then I went to Bali living off, Jesus, you'd live off €100 a week, like. Even we had a villa in Bali for, was it €900? You're paying $2,500 in Dubai, like. And I just knew it wasn't me. And so when I went to Bali, then I met most of my friends that I have now, and I suppose the lifestyle over there is there's no judgment. Everyone's there to help you, like.
Yeah. Do you know, you said something that was interesting there. who said that the Instagram, the glamour and the Dubai, it's not you, but you did live that life for a while.
Yeah.
Is it that it looked appealing from the outside and you wanted to experience it, but when you were in it you didn't like it?
Yeah, I suppose I was like, as you do, like you look at people's lives and think, oh Jesus, like they're living their best life. Like there's no doubt Dubai looks absolutely amazing, and it is an unreal place to see. Like it's magical, like, but when you're living in it, like the money you're spending, and
it's an expensive place.
And I'm just like, what are you getting from it at the end? Like there's not really much coming from it, whereas I went to Bali living off basically nothing, and I got the best experiences of my life. So there's a big difference in what you see on Instagram and what looks to be the best life ever. To be honest,
sounds like you're more free in Bali, because when you're in Dubai,
you feel like you're judged in Dubai, like you're kind of living up to something. I felt like I was living up to a lifestyle that just wasn't me. Like you feel like you go out and you have to put on makeup and you have to dress a certain way because everybody is so done up and glam and rich. Whereas you go to Bali, you're walking around your Crocs, like, and you're really at your happiest, like. Yeah.
I want to go to Bali.
I know, it sounds amazing.
It is.
Bali is like y'all for Aussies.
Bali is the best.
Cool, we're going to Bali.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get in there now unless you Bali'd up.
Oh no. We get into Bali.
You get in, alright.
We do podcasts in Bali. There's loads of Irish over there.
Do you have to get a visa or something to go to Bali?
Yeah, you can just get a working.
Is it?
We could go to the embassy and sort it out.
You just
it's not a part of America or something like that.
No, it's just north of Australia, is it?
Oh,
is it part of Indonesia?
Yeah, it's in Indonesia. Yeah. But there's no, like, you just apply for your visa. There's no kind of.
It's not.
There's no.
Like
accepting it. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely going to Bali.
Yeah, you can get in, alright.
Yeah. One of the few places we can go to James.
I know. Yeah. So that's Bali, Mahin.
Not really.
But do you know in Dubai, is it lots of influencers over there, and do they kind of gravitate together, and like what's it like?
It's a party life, like especially girls. Like girls get everything for free, so like you're literally living for free. Now I only drank once when I was over there. Again, the lifestyle wasn't for me, and I had a boyfriend at the time anyway, whereas most of the girls were just kind of wild. Now there's nothing wrong with it if that's your lifestyle, because I mean I done that when I was 14. Like I loved drinking and stuff, so it could have been me now, but obviously I was in a relationship and stuff.
We can see it off here.
Yeah.
But there is a lot of that goes on, like, because none of them work, like, so. I mean, they're getting their money somewhere, I suppose. But there's a lot of apps and stuff as well that you get invited to all these places. All girls will eat free, or there's certain times girls go free until this time.
Yeah.
A man then will pay for absolutely everything, like.
Yeah. Do you know when you were over there, were you under pressure for money? And is that the reason you ended up on OnlyFans?
No, I started OnlyFans before I went over.
Did you start OnlyFans to get money to get on there?
Yeah. I didn't want to come home. That was kind of the biggest thing, really. I wanted to go and I didn't really want to come back. So
is it expensive to go over there?
To get over, and no, to live there, yeah.
How much like would you need in your pocket, like in your bank account, to go over there?
For how long?
We were there for a week. We spent about fucking $2.5 grand.
Yeah, you'd spend easily, like.
I got a nice.
We went on a boat party one day and spent about $2.5 grand, and we were just a couple, like. Jeez. Just between getting the boat, drink, things like that. Like it was about $2.5 grand, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I paid €25 for an ice cream one day.
Yeah, easy. Yeah.
€25. Yeah. No, it wasn't a small ice cream, it was a little tub of fucking hell.
I know, Randy Beef come from a rare species of cow or something.
Coming back in the plane, I couldn't fit into any of the clothes I went over.
There's only 3 of these cows ever made, and that's why it's so expensive.
And that's one of them.
Yeah.
It is the infrastructure over there, as in the buildings, the skyscrapers. Yeah. It's a different level. It's a completely different level.
But as Niamh was saying, it's all manufactured.
Yeah.
It's not natural, is it?
You know, out of...
That was a desert, like.
It was.
It's scary.
And like. Out of all the tower cranes in the world, right, out of every 4, there's one in Dubai.
Yeah.
There's one in Dubai, like, there's so
much building going on. And they never stop either. There's always something.
Yeah.
There's always something being built.
Yeah.
They're building bigger than the Burj Khalifa now. I can't understand it at all.
When I was over there, they were gone on to the next stage of the Palm. The Palm was finished.
Yeah.
But they were doing something else, and I was looking out into the horizon. You should see the size of the machines that they have out in the middle of the water. Like, I never seen nothing like it.
It's crazy.
Can I ask you about the OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Sorry, Tim. Because we've only another 50 minutes because Ron has to go. But so you started that, and I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of it now because I don't want to embarrass you or anything like that, because I know your family probably watch it. But you started it to get a few quid together to go over to Dubai.
Yeah.
Do you think that a lot of girls get into it because they're under pressure for money, and is it easy to make money on it?
Yeah, definitely a lot of girls probably get into it because it's probably one of the quickest ways you'll ever make money, like, and one of the easiest, I suppose. I took the easy way out. I kind of wanted to go, well, I suppose you're in the middle of lockdown, I wanted to go and I didn't want to come back. So I just had to think of something, like what was going to be something to make me money while I live away, like, so I just decided to go for it. Obviously I have a big family and stuff, I have 3 brothers and my dad, so it didn't exactly go down too well, and I suppose they probably knew it wasn't me as well. It's definitely easy to make money on it.
Do you know let's say
I would have done it if I was 22 and I needed money. And if
I definitely wouldn't tell anyone younger to do it. I think there's a lot of thinking to go into it before you do it, and at the time I just felt kind of headstrong enough. I was ready to take what comes with it. I done a lot of hiding on it, so I kind of pretended it was me.
Do you know when you're so you can't see your face?
No.
So do you know when you started up, like when you go into the website or the app and you open an account and all that, how do you advertise it then? Like,
so I advertised it through my Instagram.
Did you set up a fake Instagram as well?
No.
So
well, people knew it was me, but I mean, I tried
if anything got passed around, you were not identifiable. That's smart, actually.
I suppose it kind of shows that I didn't exactly want to do it, like it was just to make money, like. And obviously then kind of when it all came out and my family stopped talking to me. And
did it come out when you were at home?
No, it came out, I done it just the night before I went away.
Okay.
Just so that when they did find out that I wasn't there.
Is it common for people in Dubai to be on OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, and the only thing is it's illegal over there, like, so.
Yeah,
so you have to have a VPN and stuff. It's illegal over there. Everything kind of like that is illegal. So.
So for people that don't know, a VPN can make it look like in your internet that you're in a different country.
Yeah, so it basically looked like I was in Ireland on my phone, like.
And do you know when your family found out about it, did they contact you? How did that work out? Or were you over in Dubai living in another planet and not realising how it was going on?
Well, I kind of lived in my own planet and kind of blocked it out, but obviously we had a family group chat and there was just kind of comments passed and I just left the group chat and I blocked it out until I was coming home, really, like. Now saying that, when I got to Bali, I kind of stopped it. I kind of stopped it over time. I knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do. Obviously I was with my boyfriend over there, so kind of done the best to make money for us while we lived away, like.
How was he about it? Was he encouraging you? I imagine like it could cause conflict in a relationship, or maybe.
No, to be honest, he was very open about it and he didn't mind at all. I suppose we had a secure relationship on my side, like.
Was he on it as well? Was he?
No,
he wasn't on.
No, he's a personal trainer, so he was doing that. So he was doing online coaching and I was doing that, but no, there was never no insecurities when it came to me doing that, because he trusted me, like.
And what kind of men then is contacting you? Is it kind of creepy men, or is it just ordinary guys, or?
Kind of ordinary people, really. I didn't really kind of keep up much conversation with people, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't put too much into it.
Yeah.
It was a quick and easy way to make money, and over time then I just kind of stopped it, and the anxiety was coming over me. Like, any time I went onto it, I couldn't breathe with anxiety.
Really?
Yeah, I was really bad towards the end, and I just knew, like, all my friends over in Bali were working and they were working towards things, and I was saying, like, they were all kind of co-working, and I was like, what am I meant to do here? Like, and I knew then, I was like, this isn't what I want to do. I was like, but it's fine for now for it to be where I am, and in that way I don't regret it, because it actually has made me a lot of friends that I am friends with for life, like, and it gave me unbelievable experiences.
It sounds like you're a curious girl, right? And you look at stuff on Instagram and all that, and it looks appealing, and you want to go and try it. Yeah. Including the OnlyFans, the Dubai and all this. Yeah. But then you're actually, you think, you know what, this is actually not for me, and I'm going to walk away from it. I think it was
more finding myself, like, over the past year or so, like, I've just been trying to find myself, and I've been falling into what I've been seeing, and I mean, it happens to the best of people, like it really does. And I suppose with the Dubai life, I seen that looked amazing. I wanted to live it. All the OnlyFans girls were making so much money. I wanted to try, and I wanted to live that life to see what it was. But in the end, it was absolutely nothing. Now, it gave me the unbelievable experiences, but I was never going to carry it on. Like my family my family meant more to me than that money ever did. Like, and I came back then, and it took a while to build back up relationships. But now we've relationships stronger than ever. We don't really speak about it, and I suppose I don't regret what I done, because in life people make mistakes. Like, you just grow from it and move on.
And thanks for coming on and talking about it. So, no, it's not easy, but it's just important. If girls are thinking about it, if think about the reality.
There's a lot to come with it. There's a lot to come with it. It's not just money, like.
No.
And like, money doesn't bring happiness. I think everyone says that, but it genuinely doesn't bring happiness.
And the
what brings happiness is what you're doing at the moment.
Reading, meditating, and working on myself is the happiness that
that's getting in touch with your inner self.
Exactly,
you know, and
now it has come from what I've done as well, like the bad decisions that I have made. That's
it pushed you towards meditation.
That's all learning and that, and character building stuff. And do you want to tell us a little bit about the meditation and the personal development that you're doing?
Yeah, so basically I just do a lot of reading and stuff now. I go to the gym every morning. I get up at 6 o'clock every morning for the past, I'd say, 2 months. I just set kind of a complete new routine. So I go to the gym every morning before I start work or anything like that, and every night then I'll do meditating or reading or some sort. Well, I try. I'd be into crystals now and stuff like that as well, so be burning sage all around the room. My dad be having a fit. He's the furthest thing from
it's all airy-fairy to him.
Oh, thinks I'm a nutcase, but I think even he can see like that I'm a different person. Like, I think everyone can see that I'm not the same person as I was. So everything kind of at the minute is self-development. Like, I just kind of have to block out people, and even if it feels like I'm being a bad person, but I spend 90% of my time by myself. But I want to, and I need to.
It's an inside job, isn't it?
Yeah.
And all the external stuff, the money, the glamorous lifestyle, the Dubai, the photos on Instagram, doesn't give you that happiness and contentment.
No, not at all.
But you will get it from the meditation, the Eckhart Tolle books, this personal development, and looking after yourself physically and emotionally. I
spent too much time, like too many years, depending on people. Like my last relationship, I thought I was never going to get through when we broke up. It went on for about 4 years, and I thought, like, this is the end of me. Like, if this ends, like, who am I going to have, or who am I going to turn to? And I constantly went back to the same relationship, the same cycle. I knew it was never working, but it was an attachment thing, where that's why I spend 90% of the time on my own now or with my family.
Did you ever come across the book Codependency No More by Melody Beattie?
No.
You would enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant book.
Sounds good.
She's a very famous author. She's loads of self-help books, but it's a great book, and it would help you a lot. Yeah. And are you with a partner at the moment?
No, Jesus, thank God.
Yeah, it might be better off just leave that for the time being.
We leave that for a while.
Yeah, and when you're
meditation, be your partner on the books for
exactly,
a while.
Yeah. And I don't have time. I genuinely don't have time for it. Like anyone, I'm just so into my set routine now that sometimes going off routine, I'm like, oh God.
You don't. Do you know what it is? Any form of recovery. Any person, you need routine, and you need to be on your own. You don't need any external character taking you away from it.
Like, people know not to text me after 8 o'clock. Like, I'm not coming out. I'm not texting back.
But when I was in early recovery, about a year to 18 months around, loads of fucking residential treatment and 12 steps, psychotherapy, group work, aftercare, everything in a good place, happy on my own, and my wife walked into my life when I was ready. My relationship up into that was kind of toxic, revolved always around drugs and all this, but when you're in a good place and the right man will walk into your life, it'll be great.
I'm not rushing for anything anyway. I'm too young.
I'm 23 years of age.
I've loads to do. I spent the last 4 years in and out of relationships, so I definitely need to just focus on myself now. I don't have time for anyone anyway.
Have you got plans for the next 2 or 3 years?
Do you know what? I don't. I'm kind of taking it as it comes. I was talking about going back to Bali. I won't get into that because people be after me over what I say. But then I was talking to my sister about going to London because my sister's living in London and she really wants me to move over there. So then again, I don't know, it's a city life for me. So
go and try it.
Yeah.
You're not the one for not trying.
So I told her that I would.
Yeah.
So she was saying she'll get me a job, but I mean, come January I could be, God knows where I'd be going.
You're young, free and single. Go and try it. If you don't like it, what's the worst that can happen? You have no experiences, you meet new people and you learn something new and you walk away from it.
I'll end up somewhere. I definitely won't stay put. But I don't have a set plan.
That's fine.
My only plan now is to
just be.
Yeah, literally.
And you were telling me there you finished the Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now.
Yeah.
We have Eckhart Tolle quote up on our wall there. In today's rush, we all think too much, seek too much, want too much, and forget about the joy of just being.
That.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's true, and it's a good way.
Some book.
It's great.
It's a hard book, but it's...
You went straight into the deep end.
Straight into the deep end. First book ever read, first book ever finished.
There's a few other books as well that might help you. There are a few books by Dr. Joe Dispenza.
I heard.
The first one is Evolve Your Brain, and there's other ones then like You Are the Placebo. You know,
I actually listened to an audiobook of that about the placebo, and I think I actually listened to something like that when I kind of was after taking the antidepressants and stuff and learned about placebo and stuff like that, and actually learned a lot about that actually.
Yeah, and there's another few as well. It's Supernatural, and there's
a list of books now that I want to just read. And when I finished the first one, I was like, I'm so excited to start the next one.
And if people are interested, we've a new website, toonarties.com, and we've a reading list on there.
Oh, very good.
That we add to all the time for books that we've read and have helped us, and that our guests have read. So you get all the books we just spoke about are all there with links, and people can go and access them. It's been lovely talking to you.
Thanks
for coming on the podcast.
I'm absolutely sweating.
No, you did great, and your family will be proud of you.
Thanks.
And best of luck with everything in the future, and hopefully you'll come to our live show next in the new year.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, and if anybody's looking for tickets, you can go to our website.
Yeah, and just before the live show as well, make sure you all come, because James is after saying he's going to roll around the stage in a bikini that night.
The world isn't ready for that, Timmy. The world isn't ready for that. I don't get paid enough for that.
But we'll see.
See you later.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.